Howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, man, I got my hair doing all sorts of goofy stuff. I'm well overdue for a haircut. Hope y'all doing okay today. Sorry about all that. So, I want to talk about something that was, that just popped into my mind that I've wanted to talk about for a while. So, car guys are weird, but cool. So, here's what I mean by that. So, I've always enjoyed cars. I like driving. I like driving things that are somewhat stupid. And what I mean by that is like, okay, as an example, one of the vehicles I owned previously was a 97 7.3 liter Power Stroke diesel, dually, 4-door, 2-wheel drive, with a flatbed on it. And 18, 19-year-old me thought, man, you know the perfect thing that this 266,000 mile truck needs? A performance tuner. And I was right. It ran way better when I did that. Ended up having some long-term issues from it. I shredded the torque converter. What else did I do to that thing? It was burning oil almost as fast as it was burning diesel when I got rid of it. A few other odds and ends, but it was just an absolute riot to drive because something that weighed that much was that old was moving that fast. But so I got to tell you about the things that have happened since I've bought my Mustang. So the whole story behind that is I had been saving up money since my wife bought her car 2 years ago now to buy myself a toy. Just something. I've always had a soft spot for Mustangs. Wanted to get one. Was cruising Facebook Market. I found a couple where couldn't quite get together on either price, or I'd catch them right when they sold it, or it was too far away and I couldn't make arrangements to get the car home. So what do? I'm messaging a buddy of mine, and he says, dude, I just found the perfect car for you. I'm like, lay it on me. He sends me a couple screenshots off of one of his buddies' Facebook profiles. Neat. It is a 04 Mustang GT Coupe stick, every bolt on but headers, and low miles for the year, in great mechanical shape. The clear coat's coming off the car, and my only complaint was, man, that is more money than I was planning on spending. It's like, give me a couple minutes. So he messages buddy, explains the circumstances. He's like, well, I got you $500 off. I'm like, that's still more than I was planning on spending. He's like, well, what would you need to make it right? I'm like, well, here's how much I've got set aside for this. He goes, you pay me back, right? I'm like, yeah. Now that I've hung out with this guy, like, he's a coworker, but we message all the time. He lives almost an hour away from me. So we message on Facebook all the time. We talk all the time. But anyway, he ends up lending me a few $100s to get where I need to be to buy this car. First time I've ever had that happen. I did not ask for this. He just did it, and I paid him back in about a month or whatever to get all this squared away. Fast forward several months, about a year, I guess, at this point, and a different buddy / coworker knew that I wanted to modify the car long term, and he's like, I found a set of cams for you. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, a friend of mine has a car just like yours, and he bought a set of cams, wanting to go a different route with it. Here's what they are, here's what they did to his car. So, you want them? I'm like, well, I wasn't planning on buying car parts right now. We had been laid off, unemployment didn't pay good, yada, 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 yada. He's like, well, I'll buy them, you just pay me back. Work that out. Neat. because I got these cams for, normally they'd run between $550 to $700 for the set, because it's the 4.6 liter 2 valve is a single overhead cam design, so instead of one cam you have two. They're more expensive to do cam swaps on. I got them for about $100 off for the set. Cool. Pay him back. The rear main went, wiped out the clutch in the car, and I'm talking to him. He's like, well, we could maybe go do this up at my dad's house. He's got a garage with heat and everything in it. I'm cool. But car guys are just odd people. And so the short version of this story is I go up to his house, or his dad's house. We throw this car up on jack stands real quick. He had bought upgrade for a motor that he's building. We did this. It's just a motor on a engine stand, so we do all this. We had to take valve covers off. It's a 5.3 liter LS, whatever that, LM7, I think. We go through all that, get it upgraded, bolt it back down, life is good. And then we start yanking the trans out of my car to swap the clutch, and long and short, we get it done. But car guys are just so cool because of how much they enjoy seeing others get their cars put together, getting stuff done, having fun. But I tell you, it's just wild because right now I've got a set of cams and a set of valve springs, which I'll need to put in when I throw these cams in for my Mustang, that I wouldn't have. Wouldn't have the cams without this buddy of mine helped me out, because I didn't have the slack in the budget at the time. And I definitely would not have been able to have bought that specific car when I bought it if not for car guys and just their overall personality and views on things like that. So I just thought it was kind of neat. So that's what I got on this one, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Catch y'all next time.